Hello, it is that time of the year again. It is the Yuletide season that coincides with the end of the year. The euphoria is high. The hustle and bustle is real. It's almost palpable. Everyone is rushing to meet a deadline, an obligation, or even a responsibility. We are rushing from point A to point B. And guess what takes the heat? Okay, let me tell you, our roads. Yes, we are all on the roads, either as passengers, pedestrians, or even drivers. And so to be safe this season and beyond, we must use the road correctly. And that's simply obeying traffic rules and regulations. Given the season we are in and the beehive of activities, it is no wonder that our show is revisiting the topic of traffic lights and road signs violations and implications. Yes, it is Weekend Deal. Coming to you from the network service of the NTA. My name is Patience Eloy Abba, and today it's all about our roads and our safety. Thelma.
Oh, Patience, that just, you hit the nail on the head totally. You know, when it's Yuletide season, everyone is involved in this hustle and bustle. Like you often say, we're rushing to nowhere. Yes. What were we doing from January up till this time? Well, it's all about us. Some of us are guilty. Even if we have our working list, we've put things on paper. Time to actualize it, we often wait till the nick of time. Impossible? It's nothing. Long before Nelson Mandela said it often looks impossible till it's done, we had already begun here. What we're talking about, security consciousness, food security, child abandonment, or gender-based violence, we bring it to the fore on weekend because it concerns you. And when it concerns you, it's very vital to nation building and our progress and development. According to the Federal Road Safety Corps, 50% of road crashes are caused by overspeeding. Where are we speeding to? Nowhere. It's better to be late than to be the late. Also, road crashes per month can get up to over 700. That is astronomical, and sometimes fatalities are recorded. That doesn't make us happy. But what gives us joy is that we bring resolution to the table here often with your support, with your contribution, and today is no different. Welcome to our program. Be a part. Send in your messages, your experiences. What are you planning to do this year? I hope you did not wait for December to begin to actualize your Yuletide plans. It would be interesting to learn what you're doing and what you plan to do. Weekend Deal.
If you're just joining us, it is Weekend Deal coming to you from the network service of the NTA. We'll start with our first story, which is a backgrounder as put together by Inka Adegboyega. It will not only set the tone, but kickstart our conversation.
In bustling cities and towns across Nigeria, a concerning issue plagues our roads, which is traffic light violations. This seemingly commonplace act carries grave consequences, affecting not only the violators, but also innocent lives on the streets. Law enforcement agencies play a pivotal role in curbing traffic light violations. Their vigilance and enforcement of traffic laws serve as a deterrent, reminding citizens of the importance of obeying signals that keep our roads safe. Enter the penalty points system and fines, a mechanism designed to hold traffic offenders accountable. By assigning penalty points and imposing fines, authorities aim to instill a sense of responsibility, ensuring the violators face tangible consequences for their actions. But how effective is this system? Based on the penalty point system, coupled with appropriate fines, has there truly been a significant reduction in traffic violations? Are citizens becoming more aware of the repercussions, thereby promoting safer road behavior? Are traffic enforcement agencies like VIO, FRSC, LASTMA, and other state regulators working optimally to ensure violators are brought to book? Technology stands as a powerful ally in curbing traffic light violations. Surveillance cameras and smart sensors help identify offenders, enabling law enforcement agencies to take swift action. This synergy between technology and law enforcement reinforces the importance of adhering to traffic signals. Now, let's look to the future. The future of traffic lights in Nigeria is promising. Regulatory warning and information signs will become more intuitive, guiding drivers effectively and enhancing road safety. Continuous advancements in technology will further optimize traffic management, ensuring smoother flow and reducing violations. In conclusion, raising awareness about traffic light violations is not just a necessity, it is a collective responsibility. By understanding the implications, appreciating the roles of law enforcement agencies, respecting the penalty point system, embracing technology, and anticipating the future of traffic lights, we can create safer roads for all Nigerians. Sit back and take the journey with us on this edition of Weekend Deal as we explore traffic light violations in Nigeria.
Violations often have a negative impact, not just on you, but on the entire society. You don't know who is passing, whose children are in the car. There was a question asked Nigerians there that said, are more Nigerians becoming aware of the repercussions? For every action, there's a consequence. We'll prefer for it to be positive. You know that we like to hear from you, your experiences, what you're going through, what you think of what we're doing, and how you can come along with us to set us on the path to right. So do that. Don't neglect us today. Our feedback line is on the screen. So get chatting. Meanwhile, Onyola has been working assiduously, and this is what she's bringing to the conversation today, the penalty point system for traffic offenses. Onyi, what did you find?
It is paramount to control and educate both motorists and pedestrians about traffic rules, discipline, and mutual respect on the road. This explains why we have traffic signs to guide road users, traffic lights for control of vehicular movements, and road markings to show motorists as well as other road users how best to avoid accidents. However, some recalcitrant drivers will violate the traffic signs and beat traffic light, not minding the consequences.
Penalty system is accumulation of offenses. Let me simplify it. It means that for every offense you commit, there's a penalty point. Let me cite an example. If you have a child sitting position violation, for example, it's 3 points. So for every offense you committed, you will be given penalty point, and that penalty points accounts. We take records of it, and it accumulates. And when it accumulates to about 21 points, then we will now withdraw your driver's license for about 3 years.
The penalty point system is designed to discourage drivers from committing traffic offenses by assigning points to each offense committed.
Maybe you have committed an offense, dangerous driving, which is very, very grievous, which is 10 points and 50,000 naira fine. Once you pay your fines, it's recorded 10 points against you, which means you have only 11 points again in your driving lifetime.
We have 3 different categories of that point system. An offender can commit the points from 1 to 14. That one is warning. From 15 to 20, that one is suspension. Then from 21 and above, that's when the license can be withdrawn from the driver. If you are wearing the seatbelt, you are wearing it for yourself, for your own safety. Then our officers that goes on the road, they have these body cameras that captures everything. We also have a place whereby we watch all these things that are happening on the road. So FRSC have gone technologically advanced in that area.
However, findings reveal that the computerized penalty point system is not being employed in some parts of the country owing to infrastructural deficit. It is more effective in some mega cities across the nation. The Federal Road Safety Corps, in collaboration with other law enforcement agencies, is mandated to curb road signs and traffic violations through public enlightenment campaign and the penalty point system.
Depends, the first thing that we even do when we meet those drivers on the road, after maybe giving them the booking sheet, because we tell them it's not about the money. It's about attitudinal change. That's what we are expecting from them. So when we bring them down here to the offices, all over the nation, we have offices. We have public enlightenment office, whereby we sit them down, we educate them on the need to stay alive, for them to see the need to drive safely and obey the rules and regulations while on the highways.
All road users should make cautious and intentional efforts at obeying traffic regulations, as the penalty point system and other monitoring methods are in strategic places to capture the behavior of road users. Habitual offenders will be arrested and penalized.
Thank you so much. From the penalty point system for traffic offences, we'll now take a look at the role of technology in curbing traffic light violation. It is put together by Ridwan Umar.
We are going to get to a stage. It's not difficult. It's already there that you, as a person, can record an infraction and send it to us.
Computer vision is a field of AI that deals with identifying objects or deriving meaning from visual input.
In a recent global study on security product sales, video surveillance dominates the market, signaling a pivotal shift in our reliance on technology to address critical issues. This raises a crucial question. What does this trend signify?
CCTV cameras can be a source of input to that computer visions.
By the time we now adopt the full use of computer vision and layer it with artificial intelligence, we can now have things like facial recognition, image identification, and the rest.
It's no issue. So while we are going to the road, we know whom we are looking for. That's what the technology will do for us. And now, when you know that if you park here, before, you just watch out where the vehicle will know they there. You do what you're not supposed to do. But in this case now, you know that the vehicles might not be there, but their cameras might be watching you. So what it means is that now everybody begins to learn to do the right thing.
Today, advanced countries are not only actively testing but also deploying vehicles that can communicate seamlessly with the infrastructure and other vehicles. This innovation isn't limited to just improving safety and traffic flow. It extends to the enforcement of traffic laws, with motorists compelled to adhere due to continuous surveillance.
As time we do full deployment, nobody will be there to tell you, don't what you shouldn't do. The camera just picked that you have done this and you are receiving your message. Okay. Either you or the vehicle owner will receive the alert that you have parked where you're not supposed to park. And the fine is coming straight, no issue.
I'll use UAE as an example. The moment you beat the traffic camera snaps your picture, you receive 2 alerts. one from the traffic agency, one from your bank.
In light of these advancements elsewhere, it's indeed disconcerting to witness motorists persistently devising tactics to outsmart Nigeria's traffic light systems.
If you look at our traffic light, they are mainly procedural based. So, but by utilizing smart traffic lights, that smart traffic light will analyze the actual situation and allocate appropriate timing from each direction.
These systems are proudly data-driven. To begin with, the need for centralized data may appear daunting, but many believe it can be accomplished.
Irrespective of your location, your NIN is unique, no matter where you go to. Then we'll talk of your BVN for your bank. So also your vehicle should be centralized. So no matter where you register, it goes to a central pool because all plate numbers are Nigerian plate numbers.
With this, can put aside the license plate number recognition so that it can be able to identify road violators. You can also put high quality road surveillance cameras. With those cameras, we can be able to detect reckless drivers.
As we drive along the roads of Abuja, the remarkable traffic system in place undoubtedly captures the attention of many.
So the camera is going to capture overspeeding. FCT has its own speed limits. Overspeeding, expired vehicle documents, wrong turning if you turn where you're not supposed to turn, wrong parking if you park where you're not supposed to park. You understand? So it's going to do a lot of things.
The future of traffic lights in Nigeria is bright, with the integration of innovative technologies such as smart traffic lights, advanced surveillance system, and AI-driven traffic management.
We all know that no one commends a recalcitrant child. No one commends you for wrongdoing. So what do you expect the outcome to be when you break laws, when you break rules and regulations, and you commit traffic violations? Well, to support our discourse today, to bring expert advice through advocacy, we welcome a traffic safety advocate, Engineer Emmanuel Oche John. Engineer Emmanuel Oche John is here. Great to have you on Weekend Deal today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Compliments of the season.
Thank you so much.
And it's in line with that we're revisiting this issue. Good thing we have talked about it before, but we know that there are new additions to our discourse, especially as many of our patriots will be sending in messages, especially as it pertains to this season, usually during Yuletide. The countdown to the Christmas day itself. We have increased activity on our roads. Many people are hurrying to nowhere, doing what they ought to have done long before now. But tell us, what is happening now? Perhaps we'll start with FCT as a case study.
Thank you very much. It's good to also know that just 2 days ago, the second global status report on road safety was launched with Nigerian factors clearly defined in the content. One thing is obvious, crashes goes up during the ember months. Between now going to the Yuletide, Christmas, up to New Year. And the reason you've already stated a part of it, which is the fact that people hurry to catch up what they didn't do throughout the year. But beyond that is that we have young people, many of them have made money, and perhaps this is the season to prove that I have some additional money. I bought a new car within the year. I need to go to the village. I need to drive to prove to people that yes, I made certain money within the year. And to that extent, it's affecting the driving culture. And then we have drivers who says this period that everybody cost of transport has increased. Let's see how we make more money. So they want to go 2-3 times in a trip that they are supposed to go once. So they carry people, they rush, they overload, and all of that is compounding the road safety situation on the road. And of course, and if it begins to happen, the next thing is to ensure that we arrest those who are doing wrong and prosecute them.
I was going to ask the question, in other climes, you see that, okay, let me just say that in the festive season, people are excited, like we said, the phrase euphoria, people take more alcohol. Let me even go there. Do we have, like we see in other climes, a tester that can see some breathalyzers to say you are under the influence? We don't have such things happen here. Why?
Okay, we have a national law that prohibits drink driving.
Yes.
That prohibits drugs.
Yes.
While driving, and we have our legal limit for alcohol in your blood is 0.05, which is in our laws. Okay. And it's in the FRSC enforcement system. The challenge is, I remember the time when somebody was asked to blow the alcoholizer, which is used to test your breathalyzer, to test the quantity of alcohol in your body. And the person went to court to say, there is no law that says you put this thing in my mouth and I must obey you to blow in it. And the court say, yes, there is no law puts it on you to enforce this.
But you said it's in our law. You just said it's in our law. So I'm a bit confused here.
It's in our law that nobody should have alcohol more than this.
Oh, the process of testing.
But the process of testing was an issue. But I think they just got that approved now, that they can force you to test. You can blow that breathalyzer.
That person just found a loop.
And they used
and exploited it. But he should not push the system. Our patience is worn out with careless and reckless drivers.
Yes.
And change is here indeed. If we're asking for a digital system, we ourselves must
become
digital. And it can start by being the change that we seek. We want to thank you, Engineer Emmanuel Oche John, traffic safety advocate. Always great to learn from you. And when you come and talk to Nigerians like this, we know that some impact is being felt. And we'll see it in the display of vehicular movement on our roads very, very soon. It's time to go to Enugu. And guess what they are talking about? The impact of traffic lights violations on road safety. Your road safety, mine, everyone's indeed.
The accident rate within the metropolis since our emergence has actually reduced because we are not only there to enforce the traffic lights or enforce the traffic rules, we're also there to make sure the roads are safe. And most times, we also serve as deterrents to motorists. When you see a vehicle parked at a particular junction, it shows that the government presence is there.
The major place where you have traffic light installed, to the best of my knowledge as of this moment, is Enugu Metropolis and Osoka, the university community. Those are two major places you go, you're sure you find functional traffic lights.
The government have gone out of way to put these structures, these facilities in place so that it will inform you. All right? So the moment you obey these laws, you won't have any issue.
Generally, when you talk about violation, you talk about any of such acts that goes contrary to basic road traffic regulations. Let's say there are signs and you violate such signs. There could be traffic signs you violated. There could be road signage. There could be zebra crossing. They could have something that would have told you at this point in time there's a bomb ahead of you. Slow down. There's a sharp bend. Control your speed limit. Drive at the approved speed limit. Once you violate that and eventually leads to road accident, automatically you're going to face the music.
The law stipulates that you pay 25,000 naira for beating the traffic if you go against the traffic light, because it's assumed it's intentional, because you've seen the light and you probably saw the light, maybe it's on red and you crossed. Definitely it's intentional. So we want to bring in a culture where people obey traffic, where people do the right thing, because while doing that, you might cause accident. While doing that, you might, cause congestion, even if you don't cause accident. But if there's a rule and there's a laid down procedures of doing things, we believe that motorists should follow that laid down procedures of doing things.
Most times people are impatient. That's the truth. In this part of the world, people are particularly extremely, even when the traffic lights are working very well, you still see somebody that wants to beat it for just no cause. And that's where the dangers of traffic accidents, you begin to see them happen even when they shouldn't happen.
So if, for instance, you decide to disobey, you will obviously impound your vehicle and then subject you to the due process of enforcement. One is that your vehicle would either ask you to drive to our office, you drive in quietly, you come in, show to you your offense, show you how much it costs. But if, for instance, you decide to be recalcitrant, you don't want to obey, our tow truck will come in and tow your vehicle to safety.
If you feel you are probably you are aggrieved, or you feel that you are not, you're being impounded wrongly, you still have a say. You can still go to court and, say your mind. And the court of law will actually give you justice.
In the event the traffic lights are not working, you will have personnel there, the police, traffic personnel, or as the case may be, those from the Ministry of Transport. They also make very conscious effort to ensure that they manage and control the traffic as of that moment.
We have a safer roads here in Enugu now, and we don't record accidents the way it used to be before.
Above all this, we plead oftentimes that the public should obey these things that we have. The government has spent so much to install and fix them so that it will serve the public for good.
It always seems to be a slap on the wrist, and that's why people don't care. They keep breaking it again and again. Now, to address these issues and more is our guest, another guest in the house. As far as FCT is concerned, he's the #1 policeman. Let's virtually meet him. Okay, yes, we have the Commissioner of Police, Haruna Garuba. Sir, you're welcome to the Weekend Deal Studios.
Thank you very much for having me, the presenter of
Weekend Deal.
Weekend Deal. You are doing quite a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir, we see a whole lot of security apparatus, different ones on our roads. What is the primary role of the policeman on our road? If I see a policeman on the road, what should I expect from him? Why is he there?
Well, police personnel on the road want to ensure that there's no crime is not committed, and to ensure that there's no traffic violations. That is the essence. Visibility policing. When policeman is in a place, it's acts as a deterrent. It prevents crime, and criminals will not want to be arrested. They will not want to be seen. So the moment they see the police around, what they do, they move away and go to another place where law enforcement agencies or police are not seen. So essentially, police personnel are on the road to ensure that there's safety, there's security of life and property, and to ensure that if there is any traffic violations, if there is any crime being committed, the suspect can be promptly arrested. That is the essence of policemen being on the road and being everywhere.
At this time, we have increased activity. People are coming into the FCTs, and people are going out. So there's more work for everybody that wants things to be done properly and accurately and to preserve and save lives. And we know that there's a lot of vehicular movement. So what extra measures will you bring to bear to ensure that there's safety, reduction in road crashes, violations, and all of that?
Well, we are doing quite a lot to ensure that motorists obey traffic regulations on our roads. And we commenced this right from September. This is Ember month, from September to December. And this is a period we have so much of activities.
Sure.
There are so many people who have stockpiled money, saved money for this day, that is to celebrate Christmas and New Year with their loved ones. And at this period, there are so much of vehicles on our roads. Some move right down to the south, and also from south down to the north. So there's heavy vehicular traffic at this season. And that is not only enough. There are also criminal activities also increasing by the day in these Ember months. And the essence of this is that while some people are saving money to spend Christmas with their loved ones, the criminals are there
to take it from them.
Okay. And that's why the police comes in to ensure that this did not happen. And we are trying quite a lot to do that.
So we have been talking about our laws not being strong enough. I mean, somebody does something, you say you pay 2,000. After that 2,000, he walks away. Tomorrow, he can even pay you ahead for the next one he will commit next week.
He can make a deposit.
He can make a deposit that's okay. I know I want to cross this road that they say I should not cross. I give 10,000 and I move. I mean, people can be that arrogant. So do you think our laws are strong enough? What is your opinion as far as that goes?
Well, our laws do not act as a serious deterrent to other traffic violators or to criminals who may have committed an offense. And of course, the victims of our laws appears to be more favorable to criminals than even victims of crimes.
Why do you say so?
I will come to that.
Okay.
You see? So, and you discover that when traffic regulations are violated and you are taken to court and you are given a fine of 2,000, just as you mentioned, it does not act as a deterrent at all. Between 2010 and 2012, I was DPO in Wuse here, and during that time you could recall there are heavy traffic in Wuse market, and drivers, motorists stop on the road to drop and pick passengers. They know this is wrong, but they keep on doing. But for us as law enforcement agencies, we'll be doing a lot. As at that time, even when they are apprehended, what they say boldly to our face is that, is it not 2,000, is it not 3,000 naira? Take us to court now.
Really?
Yes. And they are taken to court and they are paid fine, and they come to pick their vehicles. So the laws does not act as a deterrent, but there's a need for a review. Of our laws in terms of penalties.
So they will have the impact
it
needs to bite.
Yes,
that is necessary.
impact on the people. If you are given a fine of a motorist giving a fine of 5,000 naira, I mean 50,000 naira for instance, and he is able to pay that, the next time he will have a rethink. But this issue of penalties of pay 2,000 or thereabout do not act as a deterrent at all.
It's a meager sum.
Yes,
too meager.
Yes.
We'll go and take Susan's feature in just a minute, but I wanted to ask you something. You know, what we see on the regular, especially around Ahmadu Bello Way here, is just near the NTA here, off Emeka Ayoko, around that junction. You often see vehicles, they breeze past the traffic lights, and there are often security personnel at that junction where we have the defense building.
Yes.
When the security men run out to talk to those people, you just see, when it's women, I see that there's a longer conversation and perhaps the woman is urged to come down from her vehicle. When it's men, you just see, Within 2 seconds, they let the person drive off. So it does seem that there are some things you do that are wrong, some violations that you can even beg your way out of. And there's no need to move you to any mobile court or any court at all. And that's why it consistently happens. You will see people will just blow past the traffic light and knowing that those men who stand there, if I just talk to him small, he will allow me. And oftentimes, I'm usually behind those vehicles. It works. But you address that amongst other things like tinted windows and the like. Susan's been doing some work. What is Susan focus on? Susan was looking at the zebra crossing and flyovers. When we listen to Susan, CP, we'll still come back and talk about it.
Thank you.
This type of behavior could lead to accident and death. Pedestrian bridges are provided in major cities across the world to prevent road accidents. In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, we often encounter busy intersections, zebra crossing, and flyovers. Yet, some choose to ignore the rules of the road, risking their lives and even breaking the law.
It's quite obvious, even if that I normally do that. I know it's 100% wrong. Majority of people living at Federal Housing always stop here. And even some of the taxis stop here to pick passengers. So sometimes we find it hard to go and stop at the car wash and now start looking for a way to get to home. So sometimes we see it as its normal way. After all, it is very short to cross.
It's a Nigerian factor. We believe in doing the wrong things. That is what is. And we must be forced, just like children, to do the right thing. Now, if you look at Area 3, there's a pedestrian crossing there, but they don't use it. So now, what government did was now to create an iron barricade. And with that iron barricade, now people are forced to use the pedestrian crossing.
Zebra crossing and pedestrian bridges are designed to ensure the safety of pedestrians. In some places, like the new express road connecting the NTA old and new site, pedestrian bridge and zebra crossing are notably absent. People have no option than to race across the busy road.
Our culture, because of the kind of roads we build in the rural areas, even in many of the state capitals that are just developing, we don't have this wide road that people will have to catch their breath before they cross the road. So most of them are not used to pedestrian crossings until they travel from wherever they live to major cities like Lagos, and Abuja, and I can say now Port Harcourt. So to make sure that the life of the people are secured, pedestrian bridges are necessary. If you say, look at this man, he's carrying load and the load is bent in his head. But meanwhile, the man is a K-leg man. So you are looking at the load in the head and you are not looking at the source of the problem. The source of these issues you have just raised is cultural.
However, in the Lube Federal Housing and some parts of Airport Road, pedestrian bridges are there, but people stubbornly run across the busy expressway. This put them at risk and can lead to dangerous accidents. Most of these individuals are of the opinion that crossing the road without the use of pedestrian bridge saves them more time.
Pedestrian bridges are not exactly where they're supposed to be. So the best that I feel could be done is that if there's a bus stop in point A and a bus stop in point B, and the distance between them is less than maybe 150 meters. So the best thing you may have to do is to put the pedestrian crossing in the middle of the two bus stops. When we are building the next batches of pedestrian bridges, there have to be CCTV camera. And there has to be control, watching what is happening there 24/7, so that people have this at the back of their mind that, look, I am safe. And if anything happens here, the offenders will be caught and then they will be dealt with.
Road traffic experts have warned repeatedly that ignoring zebra crossing and flyovers can risk life, result in legal penalties, and disrupt the smooth flow of traffic.
We are not a very patient people, even though we look like patient people. That's number one. We are not also very law-abiding. So we are always looking for the quick way out, shortcut. That shortcut mentality is, that bridge is far, I can quickly cross. So we forget that we are risking our lives, and the life of a human being is unquantifiable. This culture of lawlessness, you understand me now, makes us to feel that, look, I can quickly do it and nothing will happen. And then we have evolved to a nation that want to do things in a hurry.
Let's all do our part by respecting the rules of the road and the safety measures put in place for our protection. Remember, it is not just about obeying the law, it is about ensuring safety for ourselves and those around us.
CP, sir, why are Nigerians not using the pedestrian bridges?
Well, the pedestrian bridges are put in there by government. A lot of resources are put in there to ensure the safety of the citizens. But it is nonsensical, just as somebody just mentioned, it takes time to cross the pedestrian bridge. So, you prefer to cross the road and get killed than to take a long way to cross the pedestrian bridge. Which one is better? To remain alive.
Yes, sir.
That is better. But one thing too I want to say is that there are a lot of lawlessness. Nigerians does not obey the laws. I don't want to believe that, in total, because when they move outside these shores of this country,
they obey laws.
You see that they obey laws of
this country.
They obey
all the laws
of that country.
Yes.
But when they come here, impunity becomes an order of the day.
Yes.
And nothing goes on. So, for us, the police and other law enforcement agencies, we've been doing a lot to ensure that people obey simple laws of this country. But if we are to take out people from the streets and prosecute them and take them to court and keep them behind bars, which we have been doing quite all right. But how many do we arrest? How many? It then means that entire, Abuja will be arrested and then taken to police station and taken to prisons.
The idea of mobile courts.
And then it becomes a lot of problems. Complaints will start to come. The police is doing this and the overbearing attitude of police. But yes, of course, we need to do this to ensure that there's safety and security in the FCT. Okay, so our appeal, my appeal to the residents of FCT and Nigeria in general is that this is our country and we must obey the laws of this country to the letter so that we'll be able to, defeat crime and criminality or traffic violations. Like you mentioned, that at the traffic control point, at times, before you even get there, they have built the traffic and the vehicle has sped off. You cannot run after the vehicle.
I think that's where technology should come in.
Yes, and at times, before you even get it there, they get off, hitting or nearly hitting a policeman or law enforcement agencies who is trying to stop a short person for traffic violations. But when there are technologies fixed, cameras fixed,
technology is
even if those ones, the motorists have not been able to be arrested that day, but a time will come very quietly because you have gotten their plate numbers very quietly, you can get them arrested and then review the past days to them. Look, on so day, this is what you did. And that is simple.
Okay. CP, what I did notice is not really the cars speeding off because security men are able to stop them. But what happens is there's some communication. I hardly hear what they say, but within 2-3 seconds, the cars are allowed to go. So sometimes they pay, sometimes Nigerians are used to pleading. They're using to getting that easy way out. So beyond the meager amounts we're paying, there are some violations that are easy for Nigerians to get to. We can also check that. But let's talk about the tinted glasses. Everyone is asking.
Yes.
Are we still required to pay for this and get some documents when you purchase or own a car with tinted glasses?
You know, tinted glasses, we have laws guiding it.
Yes.
And you don't just buy a car and get and fix the tinted glass on it, the fin on it. There are regulations to it. More especially is for those who have problem with their eyes. The doctor will give you a paper that, you know, while driving, you could have a problem with your eyesight. You will not be able to see well. That is where tinted glasses comes in. Not for everybody.
But when you purchase a car with it,
but if it is a factory fitted,
yes,
those ones that are factory fitted are very light. Even if you are inside, you can be seen from outside. But this very one is very, very dark. That even if you are putting your eyes close to the glass, you will not see somebody inside. And most of them are being used to perpetrate crime. In the FCT or other places. We've been making quite a lot of arrests in the past, and we'll take them to court, and by the time they come back, we'll make sure that those tinted glasses are removed.
Okay, so now let's look at the people who have genuine cases of the factory-fitted tinted glasses. If you have a factory-fitted, do I still need to come to the police station, get authorization or a letter to say you can use it, or because it's factory-fitted, I can just drive my car?
And are we required to pay some
money? This authorization,
yes,
at times for factory fitted, that one is quite okay.
Okay.
But you need to regularize it and make sure that you have a document for it. But for now, I don't think that it's been issued again because of the criminal activities that is being used on a daily basis for this. Like one chance activities in the FCT, for instance, you can see a golf car, an inconsequential, let me say, a small car, putting a tinted glass. What is the meaning of that? And the meaning of that is quite simple. It's just to take to crimes.
Yes.
Because when you are inside, even if something is happening there, there is no way, even if you are shouting, nobody can hear you and see what is happening to you.
Okay.
So, we want to appeal to the general public that they should desist from putting tinted glasses on our roads, on our vehicles. And we arrested quite a lot in the last couple of months, almost 20, 30. How many can we arrest?
Okay.
So it's just an appeal, and then for them to desist from doing that.
We don't want to use resources and manpower. But we have two messages here talking about increased number of one-chance cases. We need to wrap up the conversation. Okay. Can you wrap up with that? Two people are asking about this one chance that is increasing.
The one chance activities in the last couple of weeks or months we have taken out quite a lot from the streets, and are being prosecuted. You know, criminal elements, they are out there as we are taking them out. Others are coming in. You know, crime is part of human civilization and existence. We cannot eradicate it completely, but we have been doing a lot to take them off the streets. Okay. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Before you go, sir, if a policeman stops you on the way, you know we have other people on the way, we have road safety, we have VIO, so many personnel on the street. What should a policeman ask you for? Should he ask you for just your driver's license? What do you normally ask for? Or do you ask for custom papers? Who should ask for what is what I'm saying, because duplication of the same question from all the personnel could be very overwhelming for road users.
Police don't look for custom papers. Our mandate is, you know, a lot of vehicles are being removed from where parked, taken away from the owners. Some are being, you know, snatched at gunpoint. While we're on the road, what we are checking majorly is the particulars of the vehicle. And of course, to also look at the ignition of the vehicle. Some, you may be surprised that what is used to drive that car is not even a key, it's a master key. Wow. But by the time you look very closely and look at the ignition key, you discover that it's not the regular vehicle key that is on it.
Okay.
So we look for that to ensure that we arrest perpetrators.
Okay. The work to protect and Nigerians and keep us safe continues all through the Yuletide and into the new year. We want to thank you.
Thank
Commissioner
you so
Police,
much.
Federal Capital Territory,
Yes,
Aruna Garba. Thank you. We've listened. We hope Nigerians are listening. We're building a nation of patriots, and we want what is best for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. And, I wish you
our discourse
the best
today.
of luck.
Well, Lynn has been doing some work.
Happy Christmas.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Lynn has been doing some work as well and some research all about these traffic violations and the general ethics that govern us and our usage. Lena, take it away.
This type of behavior could lead to accident and death. Pedestrian bridges are provided in major cities across the world to prevent road accidents. In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, we often encounter busy intersections, zebra crossing, and flyovers. Yet, some choose to ignore the rules of the road, risking their lives and even breaking the law.
It's quite obvious, even if that I normally do that. I know it's 100% wrong. Majority of people living at Federal Housing always stop here. And even some of the taxis stop here to pick passengers. So sometimes we find it hard to go and stop at the car wash and now start looking for a way to get to home. So sometimes we see it as his normal way. After all, it is very short to cross.
It's a Nigerian factor. We believe in doing the wrong things. That is what is, and we must be forced, just like children, to do the right thing. Now, if you look at Area 3, there's a pedestrian crossing there, but they don't use it. So now, what government did was now to create an iron barricade. And with that iron barricade, now people are forced to use the pedestrian crossing.
Zebra crossing and pedestrian bridges are designed to ensure the safety of pedestrians. In some places, like the new express road connecting the NTA old and new site, pedestrian bridge and zebra crossing are notably absent. People have no option than to race across the busy road.
Our culture, because of the kind of roads we built in the rural areas, even in many of the state capitals that are just developing, we don't have this wide road that people will have to catch their breath before they cross the road. So most of them are not used to pedestrian crossings until they travel from wherever they live to major cities like Lagos, and Abuja, and I can say now Port Harcourt. So to make sure that the life of the people are secured, pedestrian bridges are necessary. If you say, look at this man, he's carrying load and the load is bent in his head. But meanwhile, the man is a K-leg man. So you are looking at the load in the head and you're not looking at the source of the problem. The source of these issues you have just raised is cultural.
However, in the Lube Federal Housing and some parts of Airport Road, pedestrian bridges are there, but people stubbornly run across the busy expressway. This put them at risk and can lead to dangerous accidents. Most of these individuals are of the opinion that crossing the road without the use of pedestrian bridge saves them more time.
Pedestrian bridges are not exactly where they're supposed to be. So the best that I feel could be done is that if there's a bus stop in point A and a bus stop in point B, and the distance between them is less than maybe 150 meters. So the best thing you may have to do is to put the pedestrian crossing in the middle of the two bus stops. When we are building the next batches of, pedestrian bridges, there have to be CCTV camera, and there has to be control, watching what is happening there 24/7, so that people have this at the back of their mind that, look, I am safe. And if anything happens here, the offenders will be caught and then they will be dealt with.
Road traffic experts have warned repeatedly that ignoring zebra crossing and flyovers can risk life, result in legal penalties, and disrupt the smooth flow of traffic.
We are not a very patient people. Even though we look like patient people, that's number one. We are not also very law-abiding. So we are always looking for the quick way out, shortcut. That shortcut mentality is, that bridge is far, I can quickly cross. So we forget that we are risking our lives, and the life of a human being is unquantifiable. This culture of lawlessness, you understand me now, makes us to feel that, look, I can quickly do it and nothing will happen. And then we have evolved to a nation that want to do things in a hurry.
Let's all do our part by respecting the rules of the road and the safety measures put in place for our protection. Remember, it is not just about obeying the law, it is about ensuring safety for ourselves and those around us.
Keep it safe out there on our roads. Be the change you see.
God
Goodbye.
bless
Nigeria.